Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are going to be working on the roof of the new pole barn today. Actually today it's just going to be harvesting the trees for the pole barn. So I am in the edge of our property. We have this pine forest here, and it's just several rows of pine trees that someone planted maybe 20 years ago or so. But there's a few that have had some damage. I think I'm gonna get, I don't know if you could see some of the ones, and see if I can get the top here. There's a few over here. I think mainly this one right here, that is the top's kind of like broken off, and so it's not gonna do that great. And it's nice and wide at the bottom, and so I think this is a good one. It's nice and straight too for the most part. And I think I'll be able to get maybe at least one side out of it. I'm going to cut them about 14 feet long, and that's going to be, you know, what I need for each of the sides. I'm going to have 4 14-foot long pieces on both sides, on each side. So I might need more than just that one tree, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this one down, and then take some measurements and drag it over to where the pole barn is. I'm actually going to let it sit for a little while. Let it kind of you know, die off and let it dry out just a little bit before I get started on the roof itself. So let's get started cutting this thing down, and we're gonna see if we need to cut some more or if this is it. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, I could have done a better job hitting the other one. Okay, so as I said a minute ago, I couldn't have hit a better target. It just went right square on that tree. It's kind of like caught itself in a bunch of branches. And I thought about cutting that other tree and have them both go down, but I'm a little scared to do that. So I'm gonna play it safe. I hooked up a chain to a come along, to a strap, to another tree. I'm just gonna use this come along to kind of inch the tree over, and hopefully it'll fall down. So let's go get started doing that. Just digging it into the ground. All right, got it. Okay, so here I am using the chainsaw to start the first cut for the beam. What I ended up doing was putting a screw in each side of the tree and running a string line down the length of the tree itself, and use that as a guide to guide the chainsaw down. I was trying to see if I could put a level on the chainsaw or something like that to try to make sure the blade was level, but that didn't work out well. And what I ended up doing in this one was just doing a nice, maybe 1 inch deep score down the tree. And so that was able to give me a nice, starting point and a reference line to keep going in subsequent passes to go deeper. What I ended up doing after this first run, this was my first attempt at doing it, is I ended up switching sides of the logs on subsequent attempts, because what that would do is a little bit that when you're on one side of the log, you tend to favor one side when you're just in the way you're holding the chainsaw. It's very hard to keep it straight up and down. And so that chainsaw tends to walk in one direction. In general, I can't remember which side it was, but it would walk maybe, I think, closer to my feet, like kind of coming out of the tree that way. And so by switching sides and standing on the other side of the log, I was able to kind of control that walking of the chainsaw, and it would kind of bring it back in to a more of a level cut. So, there is some gouges and some deep cuts in this one a little bit, so I wouldn't use this method for making furniture or anything like that, but it was nice for this like kind of rough cut log to make a beam out of it, for that I was going to use on this structure. So it worked out fairly well. It was quite a long process, and that's another item, is that it's kind of tiring on your hands when you're just holding this chainsaw and trying to keep it from kind of moving around so much. I had to take a lot of breaks here after the first few cuts, just because I was getting tired of doing it. And I ended up splitting it over a couple of days doing this. I think it takes about maybe an hour to do one cut down the length of the log. So, and I was pretty tired after that, so I would cut one beam, I think, one day, and then a couple days later I came back and cut the other beam. So it is possible with a chainsaw to cut beams out of trees, but it's just freehanding it. But it's, it takes some time, takes some planning, and a couple of breaks. All right, so I've got the first beam here kind of cleaned up. So, I chainsawed the beam out of the log. Then I came in here and used the draw knife to kind of clean it up, because that freehand chainsaw is not the nice, prettiest, cut there. So I was able to use a draw knife to get it cut down, kind of the high points, kind of the really rough parts off, and it kind of leveled it out a little bit. And then I used the power planer to kind of plane it down a little bit better. And then I ended up sanding it with just some 40 grit sandpaper at the ends. That's not to like make it nice and smooth or anything. I kind of like it rough looking. And it's just to kind of get the high points and the, just like the burrs down and everything. So right now I've got, it's pretty much planed out. You can kind of see, it does have some gouges in it from where the chainsaw kind of went too deep on the sides. And so I'm just going to leave them like that. Again, this is just a rough cut beam, and I think it looks kind of cool, but also I didn't want to plane the whole board down just to get rid of that gouge. So I'm just going to leave it like that. So now I'm going to put some teak oil on it, I'm trying to keep it to where it doesn't start splitting on me. Cutting it down and then going ahead and cutting the beam out of it really quick, it may split because it's going to dry too fast. So I'm going to put this oil on it to kind of soak in there and let it kind of cover up this the surface here that allows the water to escape. So this will just slow that process down. Hopefully it won't split. So anyway, I'm going to put some teak oil on there. Got my rag and a glove and just going to start dumping it out and rubbing it in, just like I did for the other beam, the main beam. So anyway, I'm going to do this, do another coat in about 20 minutes, and then this will be done, and then I'll start working back on the frame itself.